Semitic Magic, Its Origins and Development by R. Campbell Thompson. The Demons of Rabbinic Tradition. Shedim are Mazakin, are said to have been created by the Almighty. He had created their souls and was about to create their bodies when the Sabbath set in, and he did not create them. Well, most traditions don't say that God's, okay, the evolution work continued. The Quran talks about the evolution work continuing in this seventh period, but it doesn't say God didn't create elsewhere. But the Jews kind of say that God took a break and maybe even slept or something. As to their numbers, it is said that Agra, Bath, Mahlath, or is it Machlath, haunts the air with their train of 18 myriads of messengers of destruction. See the Grimorium Barum. On the eves of Wednesdays and Saturdays, after creating the earth, God peopled it with jinn before placing Adam there. He created them of fire from smoke. Surah 55. Well, a pure fire that doesn't have pollution is the way that jinn are created according to the Quran. And among them was Iblis. Half of the jinn are good and half are malignant beings, and they inhabit the 7 stages which form the edifice of the underworld. Just as the Babylonian demons lived in Ekura, malignity of the soil is ascribed by the Arabs to the ground demons, or earth folk, so that the husbandmen sprinkle new plowland with the blood of a peace offering. Similarly, when they build, they sprinkle blood on the stones, lest the workmen's lives should be endangered. Again, while still on the subject of sacrificing to jinn, when the people of Karak go into the harvest fields, they often occupy caves, but not until they have killed a sacrifice at the entrance to the spirits. When the natives of Hamath repair the largest water wheel there, they sacrifice a ram to the Afrit, who inhabits the sluice, before restarting it, in order to perpetuate him. Otherwise, someone is sure to be killed by the wheel in the sluice way. Leviticus 17:7 has some bearing on the subject. And they shall no more sacrifice their sacrifices unto the he-goats, or satyrs, the Irim, jinn, after whom they go a-whoring. An Egyptian will commonly exclaim, Destur, when pouring water forth, or other liquids on the ground, thereby asking permission, or craving pardon of any jinn that might be there. And this reverence is to be found among the Yazidis, who fear to scald the little devils. According to Palestinian tradition, a certain man was killed by the John, the hidden one, because he passed water on their heads through a fissure in the field. At Kalirho, Zerka Ma'in, there is a jinni who is also called a weli, who lives below the ground to keep the fire going, which heats the hot spring. There is a rather different tradition concerning one of the hot springs in the Semitic Peninsula. This is the Hammam. This is the Hammam Pharaoh, Pharaoh's bath, and the grumblings and mutterings which can be heard at the mouth of the cavern near the exit of the hot stream are the groans uttered by Pharaoh and his dead host, writhing on the coils of the place of the damned. The jinn ride on foxes, gazelles, and porcupines, but avoid the hare because it is supposed to menstruate. When a herd of camels refuses to drink, the Arabs will sometimes beat the male beast on the back to drive away the jinn who are riding them and frightening the females. Eccentric movements of a dust whirlwind are supposed to be visible signs of a battle between the two clans of jinn. And in the eastern Sudan, among the Bishareen, I have heard these tourbillons of dust called eructationis damanum. The Bedouin of East Africa stab the center of a dust storm with their creases in order to drive away the evil spirit which is believed to be riding on the blast. Hughes says that the Arabs exclaim, Hadid, Hadid, iron, iron, while doing this. The jinn may possess a person, and hence the word Majnun, a madman. The Palestinian belief is stated in John 10:20. He hath the devil and is mad. Agul is another Arab spirit, which, as I've pointed out, Islam does not believe exists. According to Doughty, her appearance is as follows. Muslim is the narrator that indicates that part. Her appearance is as follows. A cyclops eye, set in the midst of her human-like head, long beak of jaws, and the ends, one or two great sharp tushes, long neck, her arms like chickens, fledgling wings, and fingers of her hands not divided, the body big as a camel's, but in shape as the ostrich. The sex is only feminine, and she has a foot as the donkey's hoof. Jewish Quarterly 900. As many demons live in dry places and have their bodies rather dry as are, they say, the demons with donkey's legs. And a foot as an ostrich, she entices passengers, calling to them over the waist by their names, so that they think it is their own mother's or their sister's voice. One of the Arabs has seen this beast, which is of the jinn kind, lie dead upon the land, upon a time when he rode with the foray. In the Gehenna marches, it is rather like a picture in the Ethiopic devils in the lives of Maba Sion and Gabra Krestos, page 33, which have horns, tails, and wings, the right foot being a claw and the left a hoof. Remember all the Therianthropos beings, particularly the six-part Therianthropos, and are a seventh with a human characteristic. According to the Hebrew tradition, demons proverbially had cock's feet, chickens. He who wishes to know about them must take sifted ashes and sprinkle them by his bedside. In the morning he will see marks of cock's feet. He who wishes to see them must take the fetus of a black she-cat, itself a black one, a firstborn, the daughter of a firstborn, and burn it in the fire, and pulverize it, and fill his eyes with it, and he will see them. Demons with chicken feet, no shadow. Okay. The ashes of a black cat are a popular form of magician's stock in trade in the modern Arabic books on sorcery, and the directions run to take a black cat of deep blackness without any white in it, and take nothing of it but its heart. Then to take swallows, which are called birds of paradise, and burn them until they become ashes. Their ash will be of the greatest service in magic. And let's remember the Bast in ancient Egypt. Bastet, of other Arab demons, there is the Marid, a tall spirit which generally appears when someone has been killed. To lay the Marid, dust, is sprinkled by the manslayer over the blood of his victim. It snatches away a bride in the story of Abu Muhammad the Lacy in the Arabian Nights. The Ird is another spirit. One day, it sat upon the soldiers of a man, and when he arrived at his village, he was dumb, but by the Khatib of the village ordering him to perspire and read the pain away for 7 days. He recovered his speech, but remained a stammerer. The Rasad is generally the guardian of some treasure and may take the form of a man, colt, cock, or chicken with young. He haunts almost all caves. There is a story of a man in Sefri being told by an Algerian that a stone in his courtyard contained a treasure, but it could not be obtained without his wife's blood. They resolved to kill her, but while she is killing a cock for supper, she cut her finger over the stone, and on the blood dropping thereon, the gold came forth. The idea that devils are guardians of enormous treasure is very prevalent among the Arabs, and I met with it at Mosul. In this wise, my servant had lost 3 Majidis, about 9 shillings, and having found a Muslim sorcerer that understood what to do, obtained a charm from him. This was a piece of paper inscribed with various invocations and Kabbalistic figures, which were to be left near the place where the money had been lost. If the demons who inhabit the air had taken it to add to their treasure, they would return it at midnight. If it had been stolen by human hands, they would write the name of the thief on the paper. Doty on the subject says that on the landmark rock El Hawara in the plain of Medain Saleh, a great treasure lies, in the opinion of the Moors, in the Kella, sealed in a turret-like stone chamber, in the keeping of an Afrit. The horse leech of Proverbs 30:15 is nothing more than a flesh-devouring ghoul. The Hebrew word is alqa. See the Gahtaya number, like the Gahtaya number 52, for more on that. The equivalent of the Arabic awla, as was pointed out by Wellhausen,